yesterday, but there's so many new people. Fun fact, did you know that the show The Boys was given an award by PETA for making the brave choice to use a CGI octopus instead of a real octopus? You know the scene, it's true. So thanks, PETA. Please put your hands together for Carl Urban, Jesse T. Usher, anywhere you want. Sounds great.
What's up, Toronto?
Yo!
Oi! Got quiet in here quick. This is awfully loud.
This is a packed house.
I like it.
Get ready for this. I think this is a boys cast thing because we had a panel yesterday and everyone came on and you all had everyone had a spiel. They were like getting cheers started. You just had one. Is this a thing you do?
What's that? I mean, it's sort of just like saying hello, you know what I mean? Yeah. Just walking out, seeing all these beautiful faces.
Yeah.
How you guys feeling? Nice.
We are very lucky in Toronto because, of course, you film the show in Toronto, so we get you at all of the cons. We're sorry you have to be here in the winter.
Look, man, we love the winter in Toronto. It's
He's
our
lying.
favorite
No,
thing.
he's lying. He's
ever.
lying. The thing is, what they don't get is like this has been one of like the more tame winters we've had, right? Because we've had it's real winter when you're like, why am I living in a place where the air hurts my face? That's Toronto winter.
That's true, there are no alligators.
That's the plus side, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's my selling point too.
It's always, does my face hurt or are there alligators? Hopefully we can find a place in between. Ideally is the goal. But since you've been here so much, what's one thing you've come to love about Toronto? What would you recommend?
The traffic. I love the traffic.
So bad. I think it's
The
known
food?
to be like the worst traffic in North America, though. Am I wrong about that?
No way.
That's
Can't be
what
worse
I
than New
heard.
York.
No,
Can't be worse
I
than
tried
New
it
York.
today. The guy was driving me here. He was like,
It's
the worst
just the
traffic
place with the most
ever.
construction in North America.
Yes.
That plays a part in the traffic.
I love
No,
Toronto. I'm from the area, but we have like all the big city problems without a lot of the big city perks sometimes, which is what I love it. I love it. But it's like Manhattan or LA level traffic.
It is, yeah. It's about the same.
I mean, it's pretty bad.
But what Jesse was saying, the food is like...
The food is like, yeah. What,
Yeah.
You asked what we fell in love with, the food.
Do you want to name drop anything?
Pink Sky. I can go out there.
Jesse is on the spot.
Where's Karen? She's the foodie. Yeah, I mean, the variety of food is really what gets us. You know what I mean? You never run out of great options. So that's my favorite thing about being here. Plus, you guys are all really awesome too. So you know.
Also, you guys have like a way, I don't know, the thing I really love about Toronto, this might be like a Canadian thing, but there are a lot of businesses run by young women here, I've noticed, and I feel like, I'm from New York and like, that feels kind of rare, and I think it's because you guys have an amazing healthcare system, so we love that. We love that, so thank you for that.
That's true. Cold air, but great healthcare. Very affordable.
You need it.
100%. And you mentioned Karen and food. By the way, Karen yesterday, her number one thing was Bloody Caesars.
Oh yeah, I've had those with her. She goes to a place that has a very good one, and I've had it, and it's really good.
It's good because we have clamato, which you don't have in the United States. This
I have
is
a friend-
riveting content. Are you glad you came?
I have a friend who came here who I had never had a Caesar before, and she was like, we were at a place, and she was like, "What's a Caesar?" And I was like, "I don't know," and she thought it was Caesar dressing made into alcohol, like an alcoholic drink, and it came, and she was like, I guess, is it, and she, it's a Bloody Mary with Clamato juice.
So she thought it was just going to be like a cup of like creamy alcohol, and she still ordered it?
She still ordered it. She's that adventurous.
She's brave.
Adventurous is one way to put it.
For sure. So why don't we talk about the show a little bit? This TV show that you're on. Great, so season 3. Anyone watching The Boys, by the way?
All right.
So season 3 and the whole show had a lot of great, juicy moments. This is a weird question. Is there anything someone else got to do that you were like, I wish I got to do that?
Herogasm. Trust me, bro, you didn't want to be there. Oh, trust me, bro, I wanted to be there.
I remember Jensen, who shot quite a lot of Herogasm, he turned up one day to shoot, and there was a camera assistant, sitting on an apple box with this 1,000-yard stare, eating a sandwich, and Jensen goes, "Hey man, how's it going?" And the guy turns to me and goes, "Dude, I've seen some shit."
What about you, Kobe? On the spot.
Oh boy. I really envy everyone who gets to walk around without stilettos on. Pretty much. Oh, I want to be up on the fly thing too. I want to fly. That's what
I want to fly.
I want to do all the cool I want to do all the cool stuff. I mean, physically, clearly, they shouldn't put me in it because I'm awkward. But that seems fun to me. But honestly, I'm happy with Ashley. She's a badass.
She's dope.
And I get to wear the coolest clothes, and I have learned how to walk in heels better than I ever could have possibly before. I came in season 1 being I don't do stilettos. I do wedges because I want to be able to walk. And then we've had 2 costume designers since then, and Michael Ground, who is epically good, has now put me in 7-inch, where my foot is basically I'm trying to walk and it's impossible. So he's trained me well.
You're doing your thing.
Yes.
That's what I was gonna mention. I was envious of.
Oh my
Shoes.
God.
The high heels, yeah.
And because the runners they put A-Train in, who wants to be comfortable all the time? That's lame.
No, those look really
Give me a challenge.
Yeah.
Please, Eric, do not be listening right now. For the love of God.
So, yeah, but
What about, speaking of, special jump out moments, of course you mentioned Herogasm, but Tomer, you got to do a musical extravaganza with Karen?
I'm gonna perform it right now for all of you. So,
Cue the music.
it was one of the most funnest day on set. I gotta say, most of the time, 90% of the time, Frenchie's covered with blood. And that day, looking behind me and seeing 30 professional dancers, great dancers from Toronto, one of the greatest cities I ever been in. I don't know what you guys complain about. Winter, this is nothing. It was so good. It was me and Karen looked at each other and we kind of went, "Is this the boys? What is this show?" Everything was colorful and perky, and it was dancers doing their moves behind us, and we're like, "What the hell is going on?" But it was so much fun. It was so much fun.
How long did it take to learn?
Oh shit. I'll tell you that much. I don't like to watch myself on screen. Most of us, except for Jesse, maybe.
I only watch myself on screen. I skip through all of you guys' shit and go straight to A-Train scenes.
You know what I'm talking about? It's weird watching yourself. And the only parts I can and love to watch is the action bits, because you want to see the choreography and you want to see the cool stuff, right? The action stuff. And I learned that now I can also watch myself dance. So that's a great present. It took us something like 3 weeks every day, grounding, working, yeah. It was a lot. I don't know how to move. So every day fresh batteries and
It was great. It was amazing. You both really pulled it off. Okay, so let's, I don't know if I want to bring this up. Let's just go there. Yesterday, the cast talked a lot about fluids. There was a lot of blood talk. How much blood is ordered for the show. They really kind of I kept trying to get them away from it. Do you have any fluids? Hear me out. Do you have any fluid stories from the show that are memorable? It could be a blood cannon, anything that just went too far.
I have a blood cannon, very quick blood cannon story where there's in the courtroom when Victoria Newman starts exploding everybody's heads, and it took them maybe 3 hours to set up this one blood cannon shot, and it was supposed to go to my chest, and we rehearsed it a bunch of times, and I'm yeah, okay, I do that, I scream, and then I run away, and we had one chance to get this thing, and I got really into it, and they load the blood cannon with banana and like silicone to make it look like, I hope it's not banana actually.
Chunks of stuff.
Silicone to look like brains and shit. And
It's banana lube.
banana lube, that's right, my favorite kind. And then so I was getting really into it, and they were about to shoot the blood cannon off, and I got too low, and the blood cannon hit my face. And it felt like somebody took a dictionary and just tossed it at my face. I was like, and everybody went silent because they thought I was genuinely really hurt. But I finished the take and went, yeah! I was like, okay, she's fine. But I swear I was expecting tons of bruises on my face the next day. That's my fluid story.
It sounds like you get hurt a lot on set. The shoes and the bananas.
Oh yeah. I mean, listen, you should see my feet right now. I'm not kidding, I've got 2 blisters this big on the side.
Show us.
No, please don't.
You don't have to do that.
That kind of con.
Please don't.
Jack Quaid was on the Herogasm set. They finished a take and he went up to the pump bottle to get some hand sanitizer. It was lube.
There's not too many sets where that's the problem. But that's one of them.
That's one of them for sure. Season 3, we ran out of blood too at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had they sent out a memo and everything. We ran out of blood for a bit. It's like they needed to manufacture more blood for us to continue filming.
There was like a backlog because of the boys.
Yes. Yeah, they started getting creative. They started mixing other fluids together to make what was.
You don't want to know what those were.
Yeah. We don't need to get into those details. Yeah.
We had a real blood bank. We had to donate blood. Every actor stood and was like, okay, yeah, I'm donating my blood to the show.
Yeah, the healthcare understood. They're like, it's for the boys, it's for the boys, it's fine. Let's talk about ad-libbing then. So, it can be a very serious show, can be a very funny show, but who ad-libs the most on set? It's you?
Yeah.
What are some of the good moments? Do you try and crack everyone up?
Just like. That's it.
Somebody over here gets it. She's dying.
I see what's happening here. A little bird told me for you that you sometimes try and ad-lib comments that will implicate you in future storylines to guarantee you'll get to stay in the show longer.
Who said that?
I'm not
Genius.
Who's throwing me under the bus right now?
That's actually really smart.
Honestly, that's really smart. I don't know why I
Very smart.
Is it
It
true?
works.
Care to comment? I know here you are.
I'm still here, so. I learned that actually, who's really, really good at ad-libbing is PJ Byrne, who plays the guy who plays the director.
Director
who plays
Bork.
Bork, yeah. He came in one day and he was doing a description of Dawn of the Seven, and in the script it just looks as though it's going to be a voiceover, and it's just like photos of what's going to happen. And they said, oh no, you're actually supposed to be saying this whole thing out loud. And he learned it within 30 seconds and then added and wrote all of these ad libs. And I was like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, he's a genius. And Jack is very, very good at doing that as well. And they work together on Vinyl, and Jack attributes some of his ad-libbing inspiration and stuff from him as well. And then I was like, okay, well, I'm taking this on too. But not as well as PJ. PJ is the master. The master is the master for sure.
Amazing. Okay, and yesterday's panel also, voted Tomer apparently. And just the way you say some of the things, and the one that they love the most, which I wrote down was, and I'm not going to do it in your voice, all you need is do you know which one? All you need is an AR-15 and meep no more.
I'm so happy to hear that. That was actually an improvisation.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice!
I actually did it, and I did it on the first day, and then on the second day, they asked to do the regular version. You remember that? We shot it again. And then I saw it on screen, and they picked that, and it was right on. Yeah.
Are you a big Roadrunner fan?
No, it was actually written as, how does it go? You take an AM-15 and you just shut up. You make the Wile E. Coyote shut the fuck up. Something like that. just went and meet no more.
That's a great line.
I was sure you're gonna say he's trying to get in my asshole.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, that came up too.
Close second.
So I know you're probably super NDA'd and you can't say anything, but can you tell us anything about season 4?
Yes. We just about finished shooting it.
There you finished.
So, good news is, hopefully, towards the end of the year, I think, we don't really know, but you're going to get season 4. How cool is that?
Amazing. Thank you for your service, everyone, for that. We are looking forward to it. And there are so many people here, and I made the mistake of talking too long yesterday, and we have a lot of questions. So now is the time of the show when I'm going to pass it over to you. Here's the thing to remember before we get started. This seems very obvious. This is called the Q&A. Your portion of this is the Q, which means I'm not teasing. What you say, as you get to the end, you get excited, you're like, this is going really well, you keep talking, you end on a period, they don't really know what to do. You just nod and approve. They nod, people kind of weakly clap, but we're like, where does this go next? So make sure when you get to the end, you go up to a question mark. That is the secret of a Q&A, I promise you. It's very
as
helpful.
much help as we can get.
I mean,
What
that's
the hell happened here yesterday?
There's a tire fire. No, I'm kidding. It was
Dead
great.
end statements made yesterday, I guess.
It's like a courtroom in here.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, so we have 2 mics. We have one on either side. Please go to the mic closest to where you are and line up. And that's it. And we're going to start over here in the red.
My question is, who has the stickiest fingers on set? Who steals the most? Question mark.
I love you.
Probably. The what? The stickiest fingers?
I mean, you got some Hawaiian shirts in your closet, don't you?
I actually do. Yeah, okay, maybe I do steal the most. Stickiest fingers, though. But I steal the most.
Important distinction. Great question. Thank you. Let's go over here to the shirtless man.
Hey, amazing. A-Train, big fan, big fan.
Same.
Thank you. So I just have a question for you, just a curious question. But do you think A-Train like jacks off like a normal person, or does it at supersonic speeds? It does it so fast.
You tell me, if you were able to move that fast, would you jack off at super speed, or you going with normal speed?
I got money to make. I got money to make.
The question is, does he ejaculate at super speed?
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? Shoot it out, race it to the end of the. Anyways, no, I'm just playing.
All back to fluids. It's a boy.
Back to fluids, man. Back to fluids.
You know, use what you know. Okay, thank you so much. Great question. Let's go back over here.
Hi guys, I'm a really big fan of all your work on the show. My question is just about like a comic, like the characters are established and loved by many. Playing a character that like already existed in a comic, was that a challenge? Did you bring parts of yourself to the character? Like how did you balance it out? Question mark.
These people. I love these people.
I'll jump into that. Obviously, noir is different, through the first, when we get into the seasons, and I was looking at the character, and as a comic book fan myself, I understand wanting to see what is on the page on the screen, right? And so when I was looking at, noir and obviously what happens in the comic books, I paused and I'm like, how am I gonna approach this? And we were in New York for the first premiere, and I think it was me, Ant, Aaron, and Chase, and we ran into Garth Ennis at a bar. And I sat down and I talked to him and I asked him, like, who is Noir to you? What is he about? And he gave me his spiel, and for him he's like, I see Noir as this ticking time bomb, but really it's yours now. And like what you want to do with it is up to you, And so that really made me feel comfortable, and it felt like a blessing to just follow my instincts and how I wanted to play with the character and to let him grow into his own thing.
Beautiful. Great question. Great answer. Well done. Thank you so much. Anything else for Okay.
I wasn't in the comic, so.
Okay, let's pop over here.
Hi,
watching the boys really got me comfortable and made me feel at home. So thank you, first of all, no question mark.
Thank
and
you.
secondly, I wanted to ask, you guys have all done some pretty messed up stuff in the show in terms of who your characters are. So I was wondering, for each of you, what was the hardest scene to film, or like the messiest sort of that you found?
For me, it's got to be one in this season 4. It was a couple of days ago. I'm still traumatized. I can feel the energy, but I kind of channeled Butcher because after the scene, I remember standing and the director came and said, "It's good. Are you okay? Are you cool with that?" I said, "That was diabolical." So, lots to wait.
Shoot, what was the question?
Messiest to film?
Messiest to film, or like most difficult and
The
messiest.
most difficult, or like the messiest sort of?
Dang. I think most difficult was the scene A-Train like goes down and injects Pop Claw and kills her out. That scene was surprisingly technical because it happens in super speed. So already, you know, they have to shoot it in like three different ways or whatever. We do like a plated version. They do a version with me in it. They do a version with or without the other actor, and it's just super technical, but it's also emotional. So it's like, hold that tear, you know what I mean? Like, just hold it for a second, swap this person out, like put in the prosthetic, and then go again. So like, that was tough, but getting through it, you know, it just sort of seemed like it added a little bit of weight to the scene because it was just so intense, and like everyone was like really honed in on that moment. So yeah, that one was that was a day.
Great question, thank you. Oh yeah, please.
I would say season 3, episode 8. Yeah, it was tough. It felt like I remember getting in and like when we were setting up, like it felt like someone was dying. And I'm not joking. Like I was sad. I was really sad.
He didn't laugh. That's just what it feels like. Somebody's dying, and you're like, man, my man.
And so it was just like heavy. I just felt this heavy energy in the room, and you know, we get into blocking, and then it gets really technical for a while. But that was it was a heavy day in a lot of ways, and a little messy.
I think for me, the most challenging and difficult thing was actually, well, one of them was actually in season 1, was the translucent fight. Now, normally when you do a stunt fight, there is somebody you're fighting who is there opposite you. But when you're fighting an invisible guy, you have to remember what punch he's throwing at you, and that makes it a lot difficult, a lot more difficult. But when we shot that, we had a guy in a green suit, and then they took him out, and I had to remember what he did. But yeah, remembering the choreography of when you're getting punched in the face. Yeah.
Really, with all that VFX stuff, I talked to a lot of folks who say that. We're like, the tennis ball's there, and then the tennis ball's gone, and you have to remember exactly what's there. Let's go over here.
Hi, how are you beautiful souls are so lovely, and last year me and my partner went to Fan Expo, and we got a chance to talk to Nathan and Jesse, and I complimented Nathan's cancer necklace, and I was going to ask him what a Cancer uprising was until Jesse said that nobody knows which dates it was, and I don't know if you guys remember or not, but finally, Nathan, what is a Cancer uprising? I know you love astrology.
Oh, okay. So Cancer, I think we're talking about Cancer rising, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so basically your rising sign is the sign that was like on the horizon when you were born, and it represents like your social energy. You know, so you walk into a room and what vibe do you emanate? You know, and so a Cancer rising, there's like a gentleness, a softness, you know, like a warm, nourishing, supporting energy that's very emotionally oriented, right? And so like I'm a Sagittarius sun, and Sagittarius are about freedom, they're optimistic, they're upbeat, they're kind of blunt, adventurous, spontaneous. And when like my friends, they see that side of me, but say if I'm just walking into a room, the energy I tend to carry is a little softer. You know, it's a little more calm, more chill. And it's like, so there are degrees of self, you could say, in astrology. And you kind of open up the more you get to know people, right? So I'm not gonna go too deep into this, but like your rising sign is like your social self, your vibe. Your sun sign is more of your like core, your identity. And then you have a moon sign is it's like more of like a core personal self that the people very close to you see.
Do you believe astrology is real?
This is a deep conversation. I would just say I've observed it to be true. You know, like I've observed, like if I'm looking at like a chart and I'm like, okay, based on this alignment, this and this should happen. I've seen things happen that are outside of my control that align with the symbols that I see, you know? And so I'm not someone who's like, you should believe in this or believe in that, like whatever you wanna subscribe to, great, as long as it's not hurting anybody. And it's been a helpful tool for me, and so I use it.
What's your street sign?
My street sign is, it's actually Uranus.
Mic drop. That's it.
Jeez.
Beautiful, nailed it. And hey from another Sag. Yeah, what's
All
up?
day.
Beautiful, let's go back over here. Hi, big fan, thank you for taking the time to do this. Now, I know we've talked a lot about more of like the technical aspects to The Boys and the action scenes and the crazy scenes, but one thing that I love the most about television is the more human scenes that get you to understand the character more. So as seasoned actors, is there anything that when you're doing the table read or reading the script for the first time that stood out to you as kind of a particularly challenging scene for your character, and what scene was that, if any? Question mark.
I can start with that one. I think last season, towards the end, sort of when A-Train gets his new heart, he has that moment with his brother. Because I've always sort of felt like his brother was the moral compass of, you know, A-Train's subconsciousness, you know what I mean? So a lot of those scenes, although they may be condensed, you know, we kind of get straight to the point in those scenes and tell a lot in a little bit amount of time, but they're usually very heavy. And luckily, you know, Christian is always very well prepared, the guy who plays my brother. And those scenes always kind of jump out to me because I'm always trying to dissect what's in them, because I know that we're trying to put 3 pages of dialogue into, you know, 6/8 of a page or whatever. And so trying to break those moments apart to figure out what is supposed to be said there that's not necessarily on the page is usually something that I have fun playing around with.
Who's gonna go?
For me, it's gotta be the glimpses that we get from our great writers about Frenchie's past. So as an actor, you always, you know, you wanna walk a journey with your character, and you hope that you will find out something new about reading scripts, and hopefully, even if it's Cherie or Little Nina, it's always like, you know, for me as an actor, it's the treasure of a glimpse of something I didn't know about Frenchie, and then kind of figuring out with myself, where do I take the character, how do I develop it, so those kind of things are treasures for me.
Yeah, I was gonna say the scene I shot with you last year where I yank out my hair and then yell at you for a while. That's it, you know, I love, like, clearly I keep playing assholes. I don't know really why, but like it's fun for me to do that kind of thing. It's like very therapeutic. But with this guy, it's very hard to be so cruel to you. You know, there was a lot of like a lot of anger and feeling that Ashley had toward A-Train that Colby didn't feel, that I was like, I had to like go through the list of things that A-Train had done and be like, oh yeah, he's like murdered like a lot of people because he's so nice and amazing and sweet that it's like,
Thanks,
you know, it's true, I love you. So that's always hard, you know.
Yeah, he's done some pretty bad things. That's fair. Great answer. Great answer. Anyone else want to add in before we keep going?
Yeah, for me, probably the scene where Butcher rejects Ryan. I remember reading that on the page and it's like, oof, that was pretty brutal. And Cameron's such an amazing, talented young actor, and you know, and he absolutely it was a challenge to shoot. He delivered, and I understood the motivation for Butcher having to do that in the situation that he was in mentally at the time and the reasons that he did it. But it didn't make it any easier or more fun to play. So yeah, that was a challenge.
That's a great answer. Thank you all so much. Let's go over to the next question here.
Hi, I'm from China actually, and I want to say you guys have a lot of Chinese fun here. Yeah, and my question is there some difference between performers, the superhero, because the show is about superhero? Is there a difference between using power or doing the action scenes?
Are you saying like between the boys and the supes and the superheroes, like whether or not it's like martial arts stuff or the superhero?
Yeah, like the season 3, Butcher has the new power.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Is there a difference between the others season using power?
Yeah, I actually really enjoyed that aspect of the story. I remember saying to Kripke, it's like, because I think for the first couple of seasons, you know, the boys' repertoire of their arsenal of that they had to use against the supes was relatively limited. It was, you know, bribery and coercion and all that sort of thing. And there's only so many times you can play that card. And I liked when Butcher got superpowers. It was a little bit closer to the comics where the boys have taken V to sort of level up so that they can physically take on these guys. And it was certainly a lot of fun to play. And you know, it is always more fun. It's more fun to be able to, you know, physically go and do fight scenes with, you know, the superhero characters. Like, I have massive envy of Karen. Like, she's so badass in the show, you know, the female, and she gets the best fights, hands down. And so it was nice to sort of play in those waters for a bit. Thank you for your question.
Great, thank you. Let's go back over here.
Yeah, like, so how Frenchy said, you guys have great writers, I respect that. But I have one question, Jim Question. The question is, what was your reaction with that octopus scene with Dee? Like, what was up with that?
Also, quickly, I don't know if you could hear while you were outside, did you know that the show won an award from PETA for using a CGI octopus instead of a real octopus? Yeah.
Which was amazing, but I do remember there was fish on the menu for lunch that day.
Oh, that seems intentional.
And there was fish in the scene. There was fish in that scene where the octopus is eaten. It was like there was actual lobster.
Sorry.
And then they're gonna take our award away, guys. Come on.
No,
You didn't hear this.
We
You
really
didn't see
deserved
this.
that award. Actually, we did, because the way that they did that was, I was there for that scene and it was actually incredible. They made this like molded octopus out of mochi, and then they put strings on Chase's face, and as he was eating the head of this octopus, they like moved all the strings around to make it look as if the tentacles were moving in his face. I think that's so cool. But yeah, no, the reaction, like, I mean, just reading that is rough. That I was like, oh fuck. But you're allowed to curse. I've been cursing this whole time. Is that okay?
Yeah, you can do whatever the fuck we want.
Okay, Homelander.
What's the age limit? Is anyone here under 10? Is that what I'm saying? They're also Gen Z, so like they are using words way worse than that.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
They've got
Eventually 45.
Did that answer your question? Beautiful. Disgusting. And beautiful. Let's go back over here.
Sorry? Hey guys, great to see you all. Super excited for season 4. So there are a lot of scenes in The Boys that kind of stick with me. The inside the penis scene still makes me squeamish to think about. I was wondering, is there anything from the show that keeps you guys up at night?
I sleep like a baby, man. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. I kill an innocent girlfriend and just go home and knock right out. Yeah, to be honest. Doesn't bother me at all.
I mean, the amount of penises is quite extensive. Like, there are so many dicks. Like, I went into the prosthetics trailer just hanging out the other day, and I just see like a dick hanging on the wall. And I was like, oh cool, like, can I take that? And just look at it for a while, and they were like, yeah. I was like, cool. I'm revealing way too much about myself right now, but I'm a curious person, and I was interested. But yeah, no, I mean, there are a lot of, the amount of penises is a lot.
I actually asked Kripke, I said, can we level this up a bit? Can we, you know, there's a lot of dicks on this show. Can we, you know, have some female genitalia.
Vagina.
That's right.
Balance it out. And he's like, yeah, dicks are funny. He doesn't find female genitalia particularly funny, so don't hold your breath for that.
No gender
So
equality
funny,
till
guys.
everyone has prosthetics of every body part on every set. That's what we're fighting for, right?
Okay.
Beautiful.
Equality.
That's right. That's the vision. Great question. Back over here.
Okay, so if you could have one character that's in a different TV show or a movie in The Boys, who would you have? Who do you think would fit in The Boys really well?
I would love to have Walter White with Frenchie.
Oh, yes!
Working some chemistry together, I think that would be a lot of ass bombs and sick. Yeah, you agree?
Man, this is a good question.
No, I'm thinking.
I really want to have a good answer.
I don't know. Who do you think?
I think Peacemaker would match Riddle.
I can see that. Yeah.
John Cena.
I'm exposing myself.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, I think Peacemaker would fit.
Pinky and the Brain would be fucking
He's called the Peacemaker. Doesn't he make peace? We don't do that here.
No, he does not make.
No spoilers.
Alright, I'll stop talking. I clearly don't. Mrs. Doubtfire is my superhero.
That's
so.
a great one. Great one.
Doubtfire would be great in the show too.
I mean, that's a good question. Like,
Oh,
if
Mrs. Doubtfire.
if I could pull like any cartoon character to like be on Noir's shoulder, who would it be? I mean, yeah, Pinky and the Brain wouldn't be terrible. Like just having like a little dialogue back and forth on each shoulder.
Peppa Pig. Just naming things now.
I don't know Peppa Pig, but hey, yeah.
Peppa Pig's a classic, bro.
I'll get on it.
Get on Peppa Pig.
Manifest that for season 4. We have that clock is a little fast, so we do have a couple more minutes for questions. So we're going back to this side.
Hi, if you guys could like change which character you played, like who would you play?
Oh, jeez. I would go for the deep.
I was gonna say that.
I would never would have pulled it off like Chase does. He does an amazing job. It just cracks me up. I just think he has the most hilarious, crazy scenes I ever saw in my life.
Agreed. He's just like, listen, you have to be really smart to play dumb that well. And he does it, like, he blows my mind coming on set. He's always just coming up, like, you know, we're starting the take and there's a big poster of his face, like in the hallway of the set. And he'll just, you know, in the middle of the scene, he'll just be like looking at his face and I mean, it's really, really good. Like, he's always coming up with crazy shit. And I could not do it as well as he does, but I would definitely love to try.
That's a good one. Okay, perfect. Let's go back over here. We have time for a couple more.
Hi, my question for any of you guys is which character from The Boys do you relate to the most or feel like reflects your traits the most in real life?
No. Homelander's pretty relatable.
He's got some great points.
He's got some valid points. Yeah, I'm just kidding. I don't know. That's tough. That's really tough.
To be honest, I think that what makes the show so great, and I'm talking only about The Boys because these guys are on a different TV show called The Seven or something. But I think we love our characters so much. Like, I can't even think about playing, you know, a different character. Like, that's it. It's a done deal. Ever since day one, and it just works. And we are so involved in our characters, and we're so into it when we're on set. I think that what makes The Boys, you know, and not The Seven. That's why the show is called The Boys.
Seven is pretty cool though. I'm not gonna lie.
Cool, man.
I like him.
So I just channeled Frenchie a little bit.
It's okay. It's okay. We can
First
have
of
a
all,
battle royale.
all right, take a shower,
Who wants to
Frenchie.
see it?
That's pretty good. Okay, yeah, we'll cap it there. I only have 2 sides to pick from, and I can't remember which side. Over here. Thanks.
Hi, this goes to my favorite character, Carl, aka Butch. I say this for an entire year because of you. Can you please call me a cunt?
Oi, cunt. I hate that word. I really do.
You use it so well.
Okay, we can do 2 more. Over here, and then back to you.
Hi guys, thank you all for being here. I think I speak for everybody when I say it's greatly appreciated. But my question for you guys is it as intimidating filming a scene with Anthony Starr's Homelander as it looks on TV?
Yes.
Yeah, it depends on who you are. Like, he loves noir, or, you know, he did. But it's amazing, because, you know, I think, especially like we go back to episode 8 in season 3, like he's just like right there, just like up close, you know, and just giving this amazing performance, you know, and yeah, he's, you know, there's Anthony and then there's Homelander, and when he's in his like Homelander simmer, you know, there's a very intense energy that comes out, but it's phenomenal to be up close to.
Yeah, that's well said, the Homelander simmer. That's exactly what it feels like. Yeah, for sure.
Beautiful. Okay.
Yeah.
You nailed it. Well, I want to get the last question in. So thank you. Great question. And our final question.
Okay, before I ask my question, someone mentioned different shows. A quick shout out to Tomer. I really loved you in Fauda. Huge fan also. And thank you. My question is for...
He created Fauda.
My question is for Carl. So as we all know, Queen Maeve and Billy Butcher got kind of close this season. So
got hot and sexy.
Is Billy Butcher secretly in love with Queen Maeve?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't think so. I think that was more of a case of 2 rather lost souls just happened to find themselves at this immense point of frustration and desperation, and in that moment were able to look beyond their cavernous differences between each other and go for it. And that's what they did. And yeah, but love, I think, Billy Butcher is, I think, to the end of the earth on a mission, obviously primarily to wipe out Homelander, but if he can take them all, he will. And unfortunately, she is one of them, so yeah. Love, not so much. Thank you for your question. Hey, I just want to say, Toronto, you guys are fucking awesome. And we couldn't be more grateful for your hospitality that we've all experienced over the 4 or 5 years that we've been here shooting our show. You've made us so welcome. It's a home away from home, and that's really the primary reason why we wanted to come here this weekend. And thank you. You guys are the best. You've got a great city. We fucking love you.
Love you.
Yeah, man.
How about that, Toronto? Give some love back to the wonderful cast of The Boys! Thank you so